that going to matter, or should I just go kind of keep it the same? If I notice a difference in it, just kind of like go over it, go down to like say, I could leave out fast food, but I can go to McDonald's and go down to call because that section doesn't have a fast food. So I might have one extra column in the top one.
Yeah, you may have to adjust that slightly, but yeah. Okay, so again, let's look at the copy paste method in Excel that can take a column of data, such as hometown hamburgers being the first one here. And I'm going to go all the way down to the pizzeria. So it looks like it actually has the type above the restaurant name. Anyway, so Control C on that. I'm going to go to this new sheet, and I'm going to right click in the second row here and paste transposed, right? And that allows the column to be a row in the next sheet, or it could be just right next to it in the same sheet. Probably easier, but whatever. Okay. So we have this stuff. So let's see how that works in the next paste. So I'm adding this pizzeria to the Papa John's list, and then I go down. Let's see how that matches up. So that was kind of your question, I think.
Yeah, mine didn't match.
So I'm going to right click and paste, transposed, and now it says pizzeria up here, and then Papa John's, and then it has the reviews, but the other one doesn't, and so I think everything shifted one to the right anyway. So what if I just move, I think I want to keep that type, so what if I just move this over one? And hometown, so this is just, I'll just say burger. That's almost all they cook, right?
How did you move it over by one?
Just highlight it and then grab it. So you pay attention to your cursor when you do this, right? And have some respect when you do it. It sounds like a, anyway, never mind. And then you grab it when it's on its edge, right? When you have that little 4-star move tool, right? There's the 4 arrow move tool right on the edge. And once you click and drag that, then it'll go anywhere, right? So, and it'll warn you, like I tried to drag it on top of the other row and it says, whoa, there's stuff there. You really want to do that? So, okay, so it looks like it's sort of, there is the review. So it does match up. So as long as I kind of keep my head about me, I can maybe get through this, right? Yeah, that should match because it does tell you the type before the name, which, you know, I'm all right with that. Yeah, so fast food. Yeah, so now I have burgers, pizzeria, fast foods, the name. There's no review, right? So I'm going to have to move all this over. Yeah, I wonder why McDonald's doesn't have a review. Just kidding, I don't know why. Anyway, just leave it blank. And just making it line up. Now you can do that all at once or later or whatever. But, and then I might skip this other stuff, right? So fast food, Sonic. And this one's in a completely different. So I'll just go all the way down until I see the next one, which is Subway. All I really want is the address. And the rest of it is, oh, here's that call. So maybe I'll just go Sonic. Here's fast food, Sonic, call. It added this view menu in here, but I don't really care about that. So, right, so let's see what that does. Looks like Farmington. So again, the review on Sonic isn't there. So that's lining up. I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to. Okay, and so on and so forth, right?
Would we take out the view menu on that and just make it call, or just leave it?
I think. Remember, this is going to be the attribute table of the points when we finally get them into our map, right? So keep whatever you think you want to keep, right? Because, you know, for labeling, symbolizing, that's pretty much it, right? Labeling and symbolizing and making a thematic map, you know, this is points of interest, or, you know, fast food restaurants in Farmington or whatever, or in surrounding area or whatever, right? So, you know, that I'm already thinking of the title of my map. I'm thinking of how I'm going to label it, how I'm going to symbolize it. And this is useful in how I'm approaching, oops, you know, cleaning up the data. So. Yeah, there's another type field here though, so I guess I'm okay. And you know, Subway didn't have this other stuff, but I don't care. Like the hours, you know, whatever. And Subway is also fast food, so I'll just fix that.
Oh, we're not going to label them all.
Oh yeah, you know, fast food is a general, but if it's like specifically burgers, like hometown, but McDonald's would just be fast food because it has all kinds of stuff, right? I don't know. You decide, right? How you want to. Yeah. And there's a bunch of Subways, but they don't give the address to all those other ones, so I might have some fiddling to do with that. Okay. So that's how I would do it. And then I would have sheet 2 that I could export as a CSV file. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to open up. I'll go ahead and save that somewhere. Fast food. It's in my chapter 8 folder. Oh. Okay, I'm going to open up something I've already saved. So let's go date modified. I think it's probably, yeah. Here's my grocery stores list. There we go. So I had, looks like 27 grocery stores that I've been able to identify. There may be more, and I might be missing some. And there's only one, the original Sweetmeat in Waterflow. I didn't have an address for it. So I'm gonna have to, I even went on Google Maps to see if I could find the address, but no, it didn't. Actually, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And there was another one, this one right here, Tsaya's Trading Post. It just had a P.O. box, and so I had to find the address. I did find that address, but not at Sweetmeats. Not sure why. There's another thing you can do. Well, anyway, we'll get to that. So at this point, I'm going to save the file as a CSV. Yeah, I'll put it right there. Save as in that folder, CSV file, the garden variety one, and it's just called Grocers. So I know where it is, what I named it, and what kind of file it is, right? So that's important. Yeah, I know. Okay, so I can close that and close that too. All right. How do I get them as points? The process of taking an address list like this and producing a mappable point shape file or feature class layer in the map is called geocoding. And there's a variety of ways to do it. ArcGIS is not very good at it. It's gotten worse, actually. So what I do, QGIS also does it, like the free GIS software. Anyway, Google Earth does it even better. So I'm going to do it this way. But the process is very much the same. Well, yeah, it's very similar, I should say.
So you wouldn't, I mean, clearly this is not the right answer, but you would use like the points thing?
You
or
can't.
That's a way that you can't?
No. So that's a great question, actually, because, so yeah, nice. I'm real impressed that you said that too, because like in ArcGIS, we have the import table to points, right? If we have well, they're not addresses, they're locations, right? Latitude, longitude, or like a northing and an easting or something like that. Then it can take those coordinates and just put a point at that coordinate, right? An address is a little different. And so I think Google Earth will, as we go through the process, we can talk about how it does this, which is cool. So it uses the road data. There you go. So here's how you do it. I think it's very cool. So I'm going to go to File and Import. So not too different already, right? I mean, it's a matter of importing data, right? So yeah, I got to go find it now. Probably talk too much.
I found the address for Sweetmeat, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to open it up. How'd you find it?
I Googled it, and then I don't know what I pressed, but I pressed like a little side button and it just brought it up. And it was on Yelp.
Oh.
On www.yelp.com. It's 3658 Highway 64, Waterflow, New Mexico.
All right, there you go. Thank you. I'm gonna save that, close it. Hopefully that'll update right when I'm getting it.
Right.
Okay, so I just found the file and now I get this data import wizard, which is super cool because this will take locations like latitude, longitude, or coordinates, XY type of coordinates, or it'll take addresses. So, so this is how the addresses work. So it's a delimited file, obviously, comma, separated values, comma, so that's all good. It kind of reads that, and there you go, right? And so it's separating all the columns by the commas, so that's great. So next. And then this data set does not contain latitude, longitude, but street addresses, yes. And it recognized that because it didn't see any like numeric field with like numbers that, okay? So it's kind of intelligent in that respect. So next. And here we go. This data set contains one address field. I would say yes, although the city and state and zip, which I called CSZ, is in a different column. So yeah, actually the address field is an address. The street field I would put as address. The city is, well, I'll try the CSZ. But then it also has the zip, you know, that whole thing, that's all there. So maybe, and why do I have a comma there, huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, the comma separated thing, yeah, why did it do that? It only, yeah. Huh.
Maybe make multiple columns, like Farmington and Zone, New Mexico. And
Yeah, because unless I just do, yeah. It's sort of not matching what Google Earth wants. So I could pretty easily just put the Farmington, New Mexico 87401 and 3 separate fields, right? City, state, and zip. And then I would have something. So let's actually do that. I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to just edit my data just a teeny bit more. So here, so this column right here is city, state, zip, right? So if I highlight that field, go to data, text to columns right here, and delimited. Yeah, I'll do the first one, delimited, and next, and I'll use a comma. And that'll separate Farmington. So yeah, let's do that. Next. And finish. So there it broke up all. So now I have city and state and zip for the next one, right? See how it split it? That was actually quite useful. So now that's just city.
I noticed that there was another option. Could you do like, if you wanted to break up New Mexico at 87401, could you put separated by 8?
Yeah, let's look. I'm not sure. Okay, in this case, delimited. Actually, kind of, yeah. And not a comma, but a space. So it'll break that. There's a space right before NM, and there's a space after NM, and that's totally what I want. So.
And if you, in that same area, if you didn't have a space on other, could you put 8? Some of my stuff gets mashed up, and I was wondering if that would do it.
Yeah. So instead of that, what I would do is go back, and I would say fixed width.
Okay.
Right? And then next. And then I could say, okay, I'm going to break it there.
That's even.
Yeah, and then I think I can add another one. Let's see, to create a break line, just click right where you need it. So I want to click it there, and I want to click it there. And that's it. Hey, that's even better. So I can do it all at once. In fact, I probably could, no, because the cities all had different names, but NM and the zip, they don't. That's a fixed width. That lends itself better to fixed width kind of stuff. So yeah, let's just do it. Then I can just kill the columns that I don't need, right? Control Y. That makes it easy. There we go. So now I have city, state, and zip. Okay, let's save it. Now we can import or print. I don't want to print. How about import? There we go. Delimited again, comma. Yeah. Next. Doesn't contain that. Multiple fields. Yes. Address. City. City. I don't know why it didn't recognize that. State. State. Zip. Zip. No country field. Or we could use common value, right? USA, but we don't want, we don't need that. Next. That's okay too. Finish. So now it reads through, and what it's doing, and we're going to say yes to this, but let me pause for a sec. What it's doing is it takes the address, right? It looks for the, it looks for the zip code, right? Starts big, and zip code pretty much gets it right in that area it needs, right? Then it looks for the street, and city matches, it looks for those two things. And it looks for the street name. And then it looks at the address, the number, okay? So as of 9/11, back where we had the terrorist attack, they initiated an E911 protocol or whatever for addressing. And so generally speaking, most street data has to be in the format of left and right addressing, right? So most streets have even numbers on the left or even numbers on the right, odd numbers on the left, and they range between a certain value. And so that data is in your street data. In fact, if you download the city streets from the Farmington website, you're going to see that. You're going to see a left from, a right from, a left to, and a right to as far as addressing goes. And so it looks at, so if it goes from 100 to 200, 150 would be smack dab in the middle. And more often than not, that's pretty much where that house would be, right, for the address. So it just breaks up that street segment by intersection from the from and to, and looks for just a percentage along that road. So it's not always right, but it's pretty good. And then after that, if there's only like one street on the whole block and it's at the end of the street, you might expect the point to be like at the opposite end of the street or whatever, because it started and ended or whatever. But a lot of the times it recognizes like buildings. There's some AI going on with that too. So there's some good, especially with Google. So Google's just a much better addresser than ArcGIS by far. So anyway, that's what's happening. And so yes, I do want to apply a style template. If you don't, then I think it looks pretty ugly. So. And the other reason for doing that is set the name field. Yeah, we got name, so that's nice. That's good. And then single color, or we can do a color from a field. I don't think we need to, although maybe we could pick the type from, but I think these are all grocery stores. But if you had like the different fast food ones, maybe you want to do that, right? The icon we can use. They don't give you a lot of choices here, so I'm going to use that little dot. Or you can do is set an icon from the field. And then we're just going to clamp the features to the ground as far as the height goes. Or you could have a height field, right? So yeah. Or you had an elevation field that's more accurate or something. Okay, so that's it. Click OK. And that's going to save that template, that style template. So KML style template, KST. And I'm going to put it in, you know, I don't think I want to put it there. Well, yeah, who cares? Because I'm going to change it in ArcGIS anyway. Okay, let me turn off some of this other stuff like photos and places. Turn on my groceries. And there we go. They're all, well, gee, I thought I put dots.
Right? You did.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Well, anyway, there's one down on 371, I guess. Yeah, that one down there. That's why it zoomed out, right? So that's going to throw off my scale. Anyway, so yeah, it looks like it placed them. I should.
Not stand in line for an hour.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So it places these dots where they go, right? I was kind of hoping, I probably should have left that PO box or something like that so you can, there's also a it allows you to edit any errors and stuff with this. If it doesn't know where to place them, it gives you some choices. And then you can just type in your own choice. So I should have done that. Anyway, if you do get some that didn't code, you'll get a little box saying, okay, this one didn't match. What do you want me to do? Kind of thing. So anyway.
I didn't know essential method was considered groceries.
Yeah. Well, they do sell food, I guess.
Although I advise that you check other places. You know, you pay more. I bought some pancake mix and a whim one day. I didn't want to go to the grocery store.
Yep.
And it had expired like 2 years prior. I didn't read the expiration date until I got home. We opened it up and there were weevils all in it. And my wife looked at me like, did you even read the expiration date? I was like, no, it's a freaking gas station.
Now you'll learn, right?
Yeah. Yeah. From there on out, I have no more privileges. Push the basket.
One of the reasons I chose grocery stores anyway is because I remember talking to some lady that was doing, I can't remember her name, that's why I call her some lady, but she was doing a GIS kind of map on food deserts, right? Like how accessible fresh food is in this county.
Oh, wow.
And you can kind of tell it's you know, in Farmington obviously it's okay, but even in Kirtland, well, there's a lot of farming and stuff. So you know, farmers markets would be nice to show in here also. But really, what kind of choices do you have in Kirtland even? And then further out, water flow, and then out, you know, there is a grocery store in Shiprock, but City Market, but I didn't see that listed. I thought I had that in. Anyway, so, you know, in more remote areas, that's an issue. So there we go. So how do we get this into, well, you know, the next step is just file conversion, right? So here's my grocers, and I'm going to right click on that layer that has the container, basically a folder, and I'm going to right click on it and save place as. It's going to be KMZ or KML. It doesn't matter. One's zipped and one isn't, but ArcGIS can do either. I'm going to go KML. It's just less work, I guess. And I'll put it.
Is that the unzipped version?
Yeah. KML stands for Keyhole Markup Language. Keyhole was the one that the CIA, it was the business that the CIA had commissioned to make this 3D model of the Earth and kind of a repository for their data. And it turns out that they were in the floor above, no, below Google. Google had this one office building, or this office space that they were renting when Google was first starting out, and they ended up talking to the guy in the elevator, keyholes guy, and they got to talking or whatever. And the next day, Google went in and bought them. So keyhole bulletin board was the one that the CIA had commissioned, and they had built up this Earth thing, and Google bought them from there. So these file names, KML is keyhole markup language, keyhole zipped markup. Anyway, not that you needed to know that, but there you go. So I'm saving it in 115 in my folder. There you go. Well, I'll put it in the class data folder, for crying out loud, right? So, and I can put this, well, this is just the steps that you would use, right? So I'll just go ahead and put it in the class data folder anyway. And there it is. And save. Okay, I'm done with Google Earth, right? So I don't need that. Probably should have kept that stuff, but whatever. And we'll start ArcGIS Pro. And we'll start a new map, I guess. Yep. Just call it Chapter 8, Groceries. I'm not going to put it there. That one I will put in my folder. Turn those off for now. And we'll go to the catalog. Actually, you're not going to see it in the catalog, right? Here's my Chapter 8 folder. I don't think it'll show you a KML file in here, right? So we use analysis. We use our tools, right? So go to the toolbox and just type in KML. But it's going to be in your conversion tools, right? So if I really want to look, I could go to conversion tools, KML, right there. KML to layer. You can also convert a layer to KML if you wanted to share it with Google Earth, you know, like your mom or something. Yeah, download Google Earth, Mom. Or a KML also will open in Google Maps, right? So anyway, KML to layer is what we want.
So if you did the KMZ version of that, you'd have to convert it, unzip it, and then save it, and then go to KML to layer, or is there a KMZ to layer as well?
I believe, yeah, it'll do KMZ right here anyway.
Okay.
So, yeah. So all supported types, there's, that's not it. I don't know where I am. Just clicking here, right? So it's on, yeah. I put it in the class data folder, didn't I? That's why I didn't see it. There's my grocers. Output location. Now that should be my Chapter 8 folder. That's good. And
Mr. Stevie?
Yep.
For my KML file, I just drag and dropped it and it worked. So
yeah, the reason I'm putting it into
why
allows me to edit the attribute table and do more specific labeling and stuff. If you drag in the KML file, we can do that. We can show the differences. But yeah, for more functionality, we want to convert it to an actual layer. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay, so real quick, how did you get to the KML layer?
In your tools, in the toolbox, you can just search for KML if you want. But I already know it's in conversion tools, and there's a whole KML, well, drawer in the toolbox, right? And there's 2 tools. One, KML layer. There's 2 hammers.
That's still a 10 millimeter.
Nope, it's not a, not a 10 millimeter. Okay, data name, grocers, that's fine. And output location, that's in my chapter 8 folder. Can I put it into a geo database? I don't think I can. Anyway, let's run it and see what it does.
But if these were all latch and longs, then we could have used the points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Addresses have to be converted.
Okay, so this thing wants to symbolize it. How about, that'd be nice if there's like a lettuce leaf or something. Let's just use a diamond. Let's use a red diamond. Or green grocers kind of stuff. Yeah. And then you'll also notice this is, it kept the, what you call it, Google Earth labeling. So let's try labeling and see what we can do with that.
Are the numbers you have on there, or is that just the order that you put it into your Excel sheet?
Oh, well, the list also numbered them and I just didn't mess with them. So maybe I do want to get rid of those numbers. So, yeah, so I'm labeling them on the name, and that's great. Layer properties here, text symbol. Let's look at the text properties here. Probably has a halo. Yeah, it has this black halo around it. So how about no symbol on that and apply? And now it's all white lettering, right?
My toolbox won't open for me.
Oh, yeah, okay. Most likely, that's because the KML isn't, you don't have any, there's no, well, let's see. Let's take a look. So anyway, I'm going to turn off the labels. Here are my dots there. So let's try drag it over and see what happens. Well, actually, I don't have, oh, it's in the class data again.
Mr. CV?
Yep.
So I was gonna say, I think I tried that one time with just drag and dropping it, and
Yeah.
it puts it as a symbol, but it's super hard to change the symbol.
Yeah, there it is. I'm even surprised that KML shows up in the catalog, but that's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drop it in, and I'll turn off my points that I converted, right? So turn off those guys. And so we have this thing. It looks the same, right? It has everything the same. But yeah, look what I got here. No labeling properties. Go to analysis, tools. Well, I should see the tools though, huh? But you're not seeing the tools, Jesse?
I figured it out. For some reason, my computer wasn't opening them, but I got it figured out.
Oh, all right. Okay. Another way to do this, right? So it comes in the same way, but you can, I don't know, that's just a container, I guess. So if I right click on this, yeah, maybe just this top one. And yeah. See, normally I have like a share where I can actually just export the data, but it's on this KML thing. So all my functionality has changed, right? I don't have as much anyway. So I don't suggest just dragging and dropping it in. I do suggest converting it to a layer to where I can go to data, export the table, whatever. I can treat it like a layer in a mapping layer that I can do stuff with better anyway. So yeah, I do suggest that strategy. Okay, at this point, you know, we get we get our grocery stores. We can label them. You can edit the attribute table. Yeah, so that's kind of the project. Make a map out of it, which I'll just leave you to that part anyway. So good question, Nadia, about what kind of base map data, what kind of background do you want? The world topographics, good, right? It gives you street names and things like that, so you don't have to do that yourself, so that's nice. But there's also other options in the map ribbon. You have your base map, and so you can't do more than one at a time, although you can do the hillshade and the world topographic at the same time. So anyway, you can play with some of those. Streets may be a little more detailed than the world topographic. So you get some more, something like that might be a nice compromise.
I was trying to find the data to change those.
So if I want to use like some image, some other image that's more unusual, that's not in the ArcGIS symbology library or whatever, I'm going to save this image and I'll put it somewhere nice where I can get back at it. I'll just put it in my folders, chapter 8 folder. Yeah, there we go. Maybe not a name that's that long. I'm surprised it's a JPEG because it has transparency. That might not be a great idea. Anyway, I'll just call it leaf 1. There I go. And I may want to edit that a little bit, but let's just pull it into ArcGIS and see what we get. Okay, so these symbols, I'll click on that symbol, and let's adjust that a little bit, right? So here's the properties. If I go to layers, I should be able to change the marker type, right? I don't know why that's under layers. I would have expected it to be under the structure of it, but anyway, shape marker, and I can use a picture marker instead. Right? So I can click on that, and I'll click on File, and go back to where I put it. Chapter 8, sleep. Okay, and apply. I don't know how big this is, so well, 10 points, but let's just see what it looks like. So, and there they are. But the problem is, yeah, let's make that bigger so we can kind of see it. So 50. This might be a little bigger. Yeah. See, it doesn't have a transparent background because JPEG, right, does not support transparency, but PNG or PNG, Portable Network Graphics, does. So if I convert this to a PNG and erase the background because the JPEG will put a white background on it, obviously, then I can put that in there. So I'll work on that and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so after basically just using like GIMP or something to remove the background and save it as a PNG, then it comes in and you can see there's no background on the image. So that's what I wanted to show. Although there is some, it looks like I didn't get it all. It's not as bad, so I would have to clean that up, but that's okay.